Welcome back to Havvy Got news for you. Today we're joined by Danny Williams and Kurtis Rees. Thanks, boys, for taking the time out to join us today.
No worries.
Nice one.
We'll get started straight into it then. We'll start with you, Kurtis. Kind of take us through your football journey, where you've played before and how you've kind of ended up at Haverfordwest.
Yeah, so I started with, from a young age, I was done the Swans Academy. So then I think I got released from there under 15s. And then I went local league again with a team by me, West End, Uptown Hill, like class there. And from there, then I ended up joining Pontardawe. And I think I spent 2 years there. I went to Commandment, had a year there, then Division 1. Went back to Pontardawe, and then from there, then I ended up signed on Haverfordwest. And I've been there ever since then, the last 2 seasons.
Danny, what about you?
Yeah, probably similar to Kurt. We haven't been able to get away from each other. We've played with each other for probably since the age of 10, 11 of me.
Something like that.
We've done the Swans. We both came out at the same time, about 15s, 16s. Both went to West End. And then we both went to Pontardawe. Yeah,
went undefeated for about 2 years.
Run the show. And then now we went to Pontardawe, and that's where it took off, really. Straight into men's football, and yeah, we've done all right so far. So
yeah.
So let's talk about your favourite football memory then. This can be as a player or as a fan or anything to do with football. Danny, we'll start with you. What's your favourite football memory?
Obviously the one that sticks out is the transfer Cardiff. It's been mad, really. It was. I knew for a while it was happening, but it took until the last day of the January transfer window for it to actually go through. So obviously that's like a nice memory. But playing wise, I'll probably go back to when we were in college. We got the British Cup final. To be honest, I had no right to get there. There's like all the teams across UK, like college wise and sixth forms, got away to the final. Ended up losing on penalties, but great experience, like the trips we used to have and places we used to go. So playing wise, yeah, definitely the British Cup run.
Kurtis, what about you? What's your favourite football memory?
Yeah, same as Danny. Anyway, playing would have to be college football for the away trips we'd have, the cup runs. I think we won the Welsh Cup. We lost in the final 1 year as well, but then we had a great British Cup run and we were all over Britain, like just smashing teams all the time, like, so that was class. But off the pitch, probably Swans in the playoff final. Went to watch that, like, great day I was. So yeah, that'd be my best.
So let's talk a little bit about your kind of match day routine then. Kurtis, we'll start with you. How do you get prepared for a game? And do you have any kind of superstitions going into a game?
Well, I spend the night before trying to arrange with Danny because I'm like driving all the time for him. Because he hasn't passed the test yet. So I sort out the lift with Danny, and then, I haven't got nothing really. But, before the game, it is quite weird. I got a bit of OCD, like I have. So before every game, it does my nut, then it does. I have to check my wallet. I've got to read my driving license to make sure it's my name. And then I've got a key in my wallet, my house key, and I've got to actually read what it says on the key for every game. It's useless, like, but I got to do it. My head goes otherwise.
What about you, Danny? Anything like that?
To be honest, like lately, like something started with the boys. Like we got our own Swansea car school, and got to have pancakes, banana, and strawberries before every game now. Because the one time I didn't do it, we ended up getting battered, and then I think it went a batter and it was 2-1, but I felt like we got battered on the night. We lost to Aberystwyth. I think that's the only time I haven't done it. And then throughout the season, then we've had like great wins. I think we beat Cardiff Met, obviously the TNS one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have the pancakes this Friday, aren't I? So.
So then, you've both been at a few different clubs. What's your kind of favourite memory as a Haverfordwest player then?
Well, I don't know. There's plenty of memories I've got. Obviously, the one that stands out at the minute is beating TNS the other day because not many people do that, and they're probably the best team I've beat. But over the last couple of years, I would have had plenty more. But yeah, it stands out. It would be turning TNS over the other day.
Danny?
Yeah, I think the same for me. obviously turn them over on the TV, everyone tuning in and seeing what a performance the boys put in that night. Yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me. On a personal note, probably one of my last games actually we played before I went to Cardiff. One of my last games we played Deutsche United, one of my old teams in the cup. I think I ended up scoring 5 that night. Then we won something like 7-0 on the night. Like, so on a personal one, that, but nah, definitely the TNS one. Great,
you went big time after that, then. See, scored 5 big time.
So you've spoken a little bit about your move to Cardiff, Danny. How did it feel then to come back and have the opportunity to come and play in the Cymru Premier at the start of the season?
Yeah, no, I think that was always the case. When I spoke to him in pre-season, I always wanted to come out on loan. I think I needed to get back into the men's environment, playing football, playing for 3 points every weekend, and yeah, like obviously I've been at other clubs, so it was a no-brainer really. Know the management, spoke to Rob as well, and obviously his vision and where he wants the club to go stood out. But the biggest thing for me was obviously being here before, knowing how the club's run, knowing all the boys, and yeah, it's been a successful move at the minute. So happy days.
So what were your kind of neither of you have played in this league before, the Cymru Premier. What were your expectations then going into the season? Kurtis, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I kind of had a good idea what it was going to be like, because I played against Welsh Prem teams before in cups, and I think we played Bangor when I was 17 and up there in the cup for Commandment. So the standard there, I knew what it was like, but obviously I just knew the fitness was going to be a lot harder. But luckily, we done a lot of fitness in the pre-season leading up to this season anyway. So once that was sorted out, I thought it's been all right. Like, do you know what I mean?
Danny, what about you? How would you kind of compare the academy football that you've played to the Cymru Premier, Danny?
Yeah, obviously, I think it's demanding, playing in the top tier. You know what it's like every week. So demanding, 3 points on the line every week. I think that's the biggest difference. Obviously, you're playing for something, aren't you? 3 points, a point. With academy football, obviously there is a structure to it, but I think when you make that step up, it means more, and I think that's what everyone thrives off. It's what you should thrive off, playing for 3 points every week, and yeah, I think that's the biggest notice I've had. So,
Kurtis, you said that you've played against teams in this league before, so you've got a little bit of flavour for it. But how do you think that you've kind of coped with the step up? We've spoken to a few players, and Wojciech in particular, and the goalkeeper said it's a very physical league. And as someone who kind of loves the challenge in midfield, how do you think you've coped with the physicality and the high tempo of the league?
Yeah, luckily for me, it's quite physical, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be much of a player. I've been looking after Danny for years, see, so I've had to step up, and I done all the years.
It's his first touch, Jord. That's why you guys.
Yeah, it is my first touch. You set me up nicely. So yeah, no, it's been good. I'm glad I was fit going into the season and stuff for it. And as I said, I was prepared for it anyway, because some of the teams you come across don't play much football. They just all fit so more of a battle. You got to have someone in there. So I step up for the boys then.
So going back to the start of the season, we had the first game postponed, and then the first game was against Cardiff Met away. I think I'm remembering right. You both started that game.
Yeah.
How did you feel before that game? Was it a mix of nerves and excitement? Danny, how did you feel?
No, because we played Cardiff Met in a pre-season to me.
Yeah,
2 weeks before to me. Obviously, I don't think it was the same team. It was a few boys that recognised whatever, but they were the same. They tried to be exactly the same. The way they just keep the ball, disciplined. They don't change really. So, obviously we knew what we were going into. Before the game, we had a good idea. But no, I think there's more excitement from all the boys. Obviously, it's been a long time off, not playing or just training, wherever. So I think the boys were just buzzing, and that's exactly what I was. I was just looking forward to getting started. So,
Kurtis, do you feel much the same? A lot of excitement going into that game?
Yeah, similar to Danny. There was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of nerves as well with our first game, and obviously we were supposed to play the week before, which we believe we would have won, which would have set us up nicely then for that game. But a lot of teams had played the week before, so some teams already had points on the boards and that. So we knew we had to get something out of the game. Like, I think if we had played the week before, we would have turned them over, as we would have been more confident in that. But as the game went on, we were just happy to take the point, I think, all the boys were. So, yeah, we ended up drawing, which was a good point to start us off. But I think we could have turned them over.
Going back to last weekend then, it was probably one of, I think, our biggest win this season, possibly. 3-0 over Newton. Yeah. Very good performance. How did you boys feel? How did you think the game went? Were you happy with your own performances? Kurtis, we'll start with you.
Well, considering I come on and my first 3 passes went to the centre half, I weren't happy. But
that's standard for you.
Yeah, it is standard for me. But it was 3 Gs, so I couldn't put a tackle in the back it up. So, but no, it was good. Like the first 10 to 15 minutes, we looked a bit sloppy. But as the game went on, then the boys just played them off the park, like, and all our goals were class. It was just a good game, like.
Danny, what about you?
Yeah, exactly the same, to be honest, mate. Like, probably first 20 minutes, we were slow out the blocks. Probably the worst we started this season. But the timing of the goal, like, I think that killed them, really. Like, knocked the stuffing right out of them because they were on top. They had a lot of possession. But not from there on in, I think we dominated. We had a few chances, took our goals well, and yeah, put us in a good position now for Friday. So
yeah, moving ahead to Friday then. It's one hell of a game. First question for you both: the Scorio cameras are going to be there, and we've had a few games on telly this season. Does it add an extra incentive to perform when the cameras are there? Obviously, you're both highly motivated anyway to perform well, but when the cameras are there and there's a lot more attention on the game, do you feel you have that extra yard, Kurtis?
Yeah, it is like that a bit, but obviously we do go out every game to try our best. Because there's always the cameras there and they're recording everything. So it's not a massive difference really, except for obviously our parents and that can't go to watch at the minute with all the COVID, so they're all watching. But yeah, it's not much of a difference, I wouldn't say. Like, still the same way we get up for the game.
Danny, would you agree with that?
Yeah, exactly the same. Like, I think obviously we're up for every game, but when the cameras are there, and I think it just adds to it, doesn't it? Like, I know me personally, I love like all that, like, but
yeah, trying to do step overs all game. That's what Danny does. The cameras kind of turn up. He starts doing Christ turns.
TNS, like running down the line. But if I have a bad one, my old man's the first on my kids, to be fair. But that's part of the parcel, isn't it? Like, I think we all love it, really. And to be fair, we've had some good performances when we've been on the TV this year, so it shouldn't really be a disadvantage. So looking forward to it.
So looking towards the future now then, we've had a very successful first season. Luckily, there's no chance of us getting relegated, not that we're in that position anyway. So we're guaranteed to be a kind of a Cymru Premier side next season. What do you think the club needs to do then to kind of take on that next level and really push into that top 6 next season? Kurtis, we'll start with you.
Yeah, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Like, the training's better, everything's got a lot better this year. And it's just everyone, all the members of staff, all the players, everyone's just got to come together now and just keep doing what they're doing. And it looks like we're heading in the right direction at the minute. Danny,
would you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the plan's there for the club to succeed and keep building. Even before Rob came in, like when I left, I felt the club were in a good position. And obviously, I know the group of boys they got down there and Wolsey. There's not much better, to be honest. Like, they just got to keep doing what they're doing and see where it takes them. But no, a great first season, and still got plenty to do, plenty to come. So
plenty to play for.
One last question for you then, boys. Danny, we'll start with you. In terms of your footballing career, where would you like to be in 5 years' time?
Nah, it's got to be just playing as high as I can. I think that's always been what I've said from a young age, to be honest. Like, just playing as high as I can and enjoying my football. Like, there's no real targets. It's just keep enjoying, play as high as I can.
Kurtis, what about you? Where would you like to be in 5 years' time?
Hopefully a passenger in Danny's car on the way to training on Haverfordwest, because he might have passed his test for the next 5 years, and I won't mind traveling so much in.
I feel he's done now, we'll be right.
Hopefully sitting up the top, towards the top of the table as well, playing for something up there.
Cheers, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for your time this evening. Thanks for watching and listening wherever you are, and cheers, boys.
Cheers, lads.
Nice and enjoyed.